Previously on Crazy, Neville stole a baby. I was forced to apologize to Ray, who managed to blow it worse than Whitney Houston when he lost Neville. Emily and Heather's only chance of finding the baby's mother. Luckily, everything got sorted out in the end. But then...
They're going to cut down the forest!
What?
Thanks for that. I clearly was in need of a shower.
Did you say that they're cutting down the forest?
Yes!
Our forest?
Yes!
The forest of whimsy and bowls?
Yes! What is it you don't understand? Is it my accent?
Wait. How do you know this?
How he knew was really quite simple. After everything that had happened lately, especially after all the reminders of his ex-wife, Henrik had been feeling a bit down, and he was getting tired of it. So he decided to do something about it. Every now and then, when he felt he needed some civilization to keep him sane, Henrik would suit up and head into town for some social interaction. But, convinced the voices were a sure sign that his sanity had abandoned him, Henrik hadn't left the woods in a long time. But now, thanks to Emily, he knew he wasn't going crazy, and a day in town seemed like the best thing to cheer himself up.
I wonder what's going on today. Seems cocky. Free food?
And with that, Henrik was on his way to meet his future mayor, Paul I. Titian. As cocky as that poster seemed, Paul's statement wasn't far from the truth. Paul was what the voters were calling an everyday man. He was a family man and a businessman, with an eye for the issues that mattered. He was as determined as he was charming, and he planned to use that for the benefit of the town, and for the benefit of the campaign.
Oh, well, hello there, a newcomer. Here I was thinking nobody else was going to show up. Sure glad that I was wrong. You got here just in time. I'm just getting ready to do my speech.
The name is Henrik.
Oh, Henrik, pleased to meet you. I'm Paul.
Well, this is quite the event you have here. But to be honest, Paul, I just came here for the free food.
Oh, well, here, have some cake.
Oh.
I really don't need any. I've had enough cake for a whole lifetime. Need to cut down a little bit.
Thank you.
Yes, so tell me, Henrik, that accent, if you don't mind me asking, where are you from?
Germany.
Germany. My wife lived there for a year or so before I met her. Absolutely loved the place. You really should meet her sometime. She's really a terrific person. I'm sure you would have lots to talk about. Well, yes, so anyway, I've got to go and do a little browsing and meet a few people before I go and make my speech. So, feel free, look around, help yourself to some food over on the back table.
But on his way to the table of free food, something caught Henrik's eye.
Deer Valley? Isn't that...
Indeed, Deer Valley Park Woods was, in fact, the forest of whimsy and bowls.
It started as a feeling, a calling, like a whisper gently stroking the night. Duschenberg. Something deep inside me that moved more than just my soul. Duschenberg. My heart leapt up and down, up and down, up and down until my body ached. The exhaustion was sweet on my tongue, the liquid gold of pure triumph and satisfaction. Duschenberg. And when it was all over, the scent remained. Duschenberg. The smell of champions.
Excuse me, but what's all this?
This is my pièce de résistance. These are the plans for our new shopping development of affordable storefronts for small local businesses. Quite the sight, isn't it?
I see.
We start development next month, and all that stands between it is an election and an insignificant patch of woods.
An insignificant patch of woods. An insignificant patch of woods? How can you say that?
I'm sorry, but just who do you think you are?
Why, I already told you. I'm Henrik. Henrik von Duschenberg.
Duschenberg.
Well, that's unfortunate. Look, Mr. Duschenberg, I don't know what it is that makes you think that you have some sort of entitlement over those woods, but
I live there!
of course you do.
And then, something in Paul snapped.
Now look, Mr. Heinrich. I can call you Heinrich, right? Heinrich, you seem like a reasonable man. And you've got to understand that the city has control over those woods. Just because you live there doesn't mean you have any control over what happens with them. Now that complex is going to get built because the small business in this town needs it. We have to compete against surrounding cities who are moving ahead of us. And you've got to know that that complex is the backbone of my election. I've got the voters eating out of the palm of my hands. It's what's going to get me to win. You understand that now, don't you? Of course you understand. Because you know that I'm not going to let some insignificant, weeny little environmentalist get in my way. Now, I've got an election to win and a speech to give. So if you'll excuse me.
I can't let this happen. Not to my home. Not to my friends. I must warn the others.
And so Henrik returned to Emily and Heather's place. And once he was done explaining how he discovered all this, a fire lit in Emily, the likes of which they had never seen before.
This man must be stopped.
Well, how are we going to do that? He's this big shot politician. He has political power and we have a hobo.
No, we have the three of us. And that squadron of invisible creatures at our back door. There's only one of him.
One of him, he has an army of voters. Our squadron is nothing compared to that.
You know what? Voters are fickle. They'll abandon him at the drop of a dime if we give them cause. Henrik, what did Paul say were the things in his way?
An election and an insignificant patch of woods.
Exactly. And little does he know, we control that insignificant patch of woods. He looks at it as a technicality, but we know this election is an obstacle. He could still lose.
From everything that I saw, I don't see how that's possible.
No. Everybody has a weakness. We just need to find his.
And when we do?
We take him down. Are you guys in?
We're in.